I want you to picture this. You're late. You rush into an elevator, the doors slide shut with that metallic thud, the hum of cables above you, the faint flicker of fluorescent lights. And there it is, a giant mirror. You glance at yourself, adjust your hair, fix your collar, maybe check your phone screen too. It feels normal, decorative, even thoughtful. But have you ever wondered, why does almost every elevator have one? Why would building owners spend money installing huge mirrors in a tiny metal box where no one actually needs to see themselves? And here's the strange part. In many older elevators, the mirror placement looks awkward. Sometimes it's on the back wall, sometimes on the side. Sometimes it covers the entire surface like a dance studio. It looks like a design choice. But here's the surprising truth. It wasn't installed for your reflection. Today, we're uncovering why elevators have mirrors, how they secretly control your emotions, and why this simple piece of glass solved one of the biggest psychological problems in modern architecture. To understand why elevators have mirrors, we first have to look at the problem elevators created, because elevators weren't always normal. When the first passenger elevators appeared in the 1800s, especially after Elisha Otis introduced his safety brake in 1853, people were terrified of them. Imagine stepping into a wooden box, no windows, no control, just ropes and gears pulling you into the air. Before elevators, tall buildings were a nightmare. The higher you lived, the worse it was. The stairs were endless. The top floors were cheap because no one wanted to climb them. In fact, before elevators, the best apartments were on the first floors. The upper floors, those were for servants. But once elevators arrived, buildings could grow upward. And suddenly, a new problem appeared. People hated riding in them. Not because they were unsafe, because they were uncomfortable, claustrophobic, awkward, silent. Elevators created something humans are surprisingly bad at handling: forced stillness in a confined space with strangers. Let's break this down. Step 1. The psychology of dead time. Elevators are short rides, but they feel long. Why? Because you're not doing anything. You're just standing there. Think of it like waiting for a microwave to finish. 10 seconds can feel like a minute when you're watching the countdown. In the 1920s and 30s, elevator companies were flooded with complaints. Elevators are too slow. But here's the twist. Engineers checked the systems. They weren't slow. So what was happening? People weren't measuring time. They were feeling time. And when humans are idle in tight spaces, anxiety rises. So if the speed wasn't the issue, why did people feel trapped? Because they had nothing to focus on. That's when designers tried something simple. They added mirrors. Suddenly, people had something to look at, something to do. Adjust hair, fix makeup, check posture. The mirror turned dead time into useful time. It's like giving a toddler a toy during a long car ride. Same time, less complaining. Step 2. The claustrophobia hack. Now here's where it gets clever. Mirrors don't just distract you. They change how your brain perceives space. Think of it like standing in a small bathroom versus standing in a bathroom with a full wall mirror. Same size, feels bigger, right? That's because your brain interprets reflected space as real depth. It's like walking in snowshoes instead of high heels on soft ground. Same weight, different distribution. Your brain spreads out the sense of space. Elevator cabins are small by necessity. Building codes limit shaft size. Construction costs are high. Every extra inch costs money. So instead of making elevators physically larger, which would be expensive, designers made them feel larger. Cheaper solution, big psychological payoff. And there's another angle. Mirrors reduce panic. When you can see behind you, your brain relaxes. You feel less vulnerable, less boxed in, especially in crowded elevators. Which brings us to the next layer. Step 3, the social engineering trick. Elevators are awkward. You walk in, You turn around, now you're face to face with strangers in total silence. Where do you look? The floor? Weird. The ceiling? Also weird. Each other? Definitely weird. Mirrors give you a socially acceptable place to look. You can look forward without making eye contact. You can monitor personal space. You can see when someone steps closer. In a way, mirrors reduce social friction. But here's something even more interesting. In some countries, especially in high-rise cities like New York City and Japan, elevators became faster and faster over the 20th century. High-speed elevators caused a new problem: motion discomfort. When you move quickly without visual reference points, your inner ear gets confused. It's like reading in a moving car. Mirrors help your brain stabilize. You can see your body. You can anchor yourself. Less dizziness, fewer complaints. So if mirrors solve psychological discomfort, why don't all elevators just install bigger cabins instead? Money. Bigger cabins mean bigger shafts, less rentable floor space, higher construction costs, more energy use. Mirrors cost a fraction of that. It's an architectural illusion that saves millions. And in some buildings, mirrors were even added after lawsuits and customer complaints about slow service. Not because the elevators were slow, because they felt slow. So the next time you step into an elevator and you catch your reflection, don't see it as decoration. Don't see it as vanity. See it as a psychological device, a clever fix for human impatience, a cheap architectural trick that solved fear, claustrophobia, awkward silence, and even motion sickness. That mirror isn't there for style. It's there for your brain. It turned elevators from terrifying metal boxes into everyday invisible machines, and you never even noticed. If this surprised you, hit like and subscribe for more hidden stories behind everyday things.